Hi, long time no see. Let me share my screen. For today's session, firstly, I will talk about the background of the admin console dashboard. And then I will move to the old architecture diagram. We retire the lambda function because now more and more enterprise customer, they are complaining the lambda function always time out because they have more user and more assets. And in the updated architecture diagram, we will only keep the glue solution. And I will also talk about the related knowledge about CloudTrail and the QuickSight API and so on. And you can download the notebook here. I am also updating the existing blog. Yeah, now let's move to the demo. You are able to see my screen, right, for the
Yep,
notebook.
looks good.
Okay, cool. So you can click this button, go to the dashboard demo. In here, in the landing page, we put some widgets here to show you what's about user analysis and what's mean about the dashboard analysis. In user analysis, we display the user information and the user activity. In dashboard analysis, we display the dashboard utilization information. And in the access permission page, we display the access management and who on which assets, who on which object. In the data dictionary, we provide further information about which dashboard is created based on which analysis and what data sets this dashboard contains, and so on and so on. Here is the detail you can see for the user analysis. We analyze the active user. You can set the active threshold here. Inactive months equal to 1, that means any user who doesn't do any activity in the QuickSight environment, we will mark it as inactive user. And of course, who make any events in QuickSight environment, then we will make it as active user. We divide the user to be all the user and the user with author or admin role. Means these two type of user, they not only view the dashboard, they can also edit the dashboard, edit analysis and dataset and so on and so on. So these are two different persona. And you can see here, that's the user activity by different namespace and the utilization of dashboard. And the user who view the dashboard, but we only get the distinct user of the dashboard. So all those metrics are for the dashboard utilization analysis and the user behavior analysis. So in this one, we are focusing on user, and we also provide the lineage information between user and the dashboard activity. And in here, you can see the user information. And if any reader or author, they don't active for a long time, you can send an email to notify them you have to do something, otherwise I might like downgrade you or remove your user from our user pool. And similarly, this one is purely for the dashboard analysis, like the dashboard utilization, what's the top 3, what's the bottom 3, and what's the bottom 3 user for the utilization. Here we measure the utilization only for get dashboard events or view dashboard events. And you can see further information here. I will skip a detail here. And in here, you can view the assets management. As I say, the objects belong to the principal type of group. Which group? The objects, the assets belong to a principal type, which is user. Which user? All the information listed here. And the ownership is owner or only viewer. And the object name, object type, and the region. And here is detail of the permission is viewer and what permission they have. They can describe, they can list the version and so on. And for the owner, they can not only do this view events, they can also do the delete update. And here is further information about each user. And in here, the data dictionary, we provide the dashboard name, dashboard ID, the analysis who is publish as this dashboard, and the data source this dashboard is using, and the data set this dashboard is using, and the details of the data set, like which schema they are using and the SQL they are using. If it's not using custom SQL but directly import a table, then what table they are using. Every information is here. And in here, we display the linkage between dataset and dashboard. And in here, we display the column and the dataset linkage. In July, I will update those information to including more those data dictionary, including the Q topic and underlying dataset and so on. I will also put another tab called folder and folder membership and spice injection information. But just stay tuned. It should be ready in 1.5 months. In today's session, we only cover the already existing analysis what I have in the current version. The new version is coming soon. Okay. Yeah. Here is the information and the dashboard demo. I also put the instruction here and some tips and tricks here. Yeah. Now let's go back to the next step. Yeah, here is a little bit background. In 2020, I wrote a blog to provide some best practice. How can we make a centralized management of the sets? I always recommend QuickSight customer to use group as the owner of the QuickSight objects. Because if you only use individual user to be the owner of the QuickSight objects, then if the user is a contract or they leave your company, then your objects become orphan objects. It's very difficult to monitor it and manage it. So always use group to be the primary owner of your QuickSight assets. And then in here, I provide a solution by using lambda function to help you to assign the objects to the corresponding group and look for any objects they are not belong to a group. Then use the lambda function to get the information and then assign it to corresponding group. So that's the very beginning version of the admin console. And in this version, I only provide the object access permission. You can see how junior QuickSight was in 2020. But this one still has some value if you would like to follow a best practice of the object management of QuickSight. And in 2021, I worked with Jill together. Jill helped me to collect a lot of customer feedback requests. And in this version, I provide admin console. I name it admin console. And then I create a data sets to provide the utilization analysis of dashboard and user activity monitoring and assets management as I demo in the demo dashboard. And later in 2022, we continue to update this dashboard to make it more beautiful and provide the glue job solution. And then I moved to the engineering team to be the engineering manager, so I didn't have time to continue to update and maintain this solution. And I received a lot of complaint when I go back to the solution architect team. A lot of people complain to me, hey, Ying, your solution doesn't work. The CloudFormation template cannot be deployed correctly. Yeah, and don't worry, I fixed all the bug. So today's session is focused on the existing admin console solution, but with all the bug fixed. And as I say, I will repeat again here. It will coming soon. I will provide further access management about Q topic folder and the spice ingestion history, and also the import export job. Those all those new API activity and the related access management, user management will be provided later, roughly in July, in the middle or by the end. Okay, today let's focus on the existing admin console. As I said previously, we provide two ways to get the data from QuickSight. One way is using the lambda function to query QuickSight API and then get the information about the user, about the QuickSight objects. And that time in 2022, we provide the glue job as an optional route. Yep, now we recommend retire the lambda function, only go through the glue job. So here is the new diagram. Why it cannot be shown? Let me show you again. Yep, here's a new diagram. So the glue job run the QuickSight API call to get the user information, including the namespace, and in this namespace, which group, which user belong to it, and the assets information, like this dashboard has how many data sets, and the data set information, and which data source is based on, and in the data set, what SQL we are using, and so on and so on. And once we get those information, so we get the framework of the QuickSight architecture. I mean, the QuickSight account architecture. And then we enable CloudTrail, and CloudTrail will provide the user activity and also the service activity. User activity means if the user log into QuickSight, then and view a dashboard, then is activity called get dashboard. Another type of activity is if QuickSight service is running something like, for example, create a user, register user, throwing some event bridge, or the lambda function doing API call, it will also log into the CloudTrail. All of those events are in CloudTrail. So you can think about that. This one like a structure, and this one is like some transaction. So we combine the QuickSight account architecture with those events together, and then enable us to be able to audit and analyze the user behavior, the dashboard utilization, and you can imagine that you can also monitor the dashboard create, analysis create, delete user. All those events should be able to be monitored. And here in this current solution, I only show you partial functionality based on those data. You can do whatever monitoring, auditing you can do if you continue to, further refine my code or run more sophisticated SQL based on the data we collect in the S3 bucket. And then I use Athena to create a table based on those S3 files. And then I build a dashboard in QuickSight to visualize those data. You don't have to use QuickSight. Once you have the data, you can just directly run SQL query if you prefer the programmable way. Furthermore, you can even use like a SageMaker canvas to run some prediction, anomaly detection, or further like the AI machine learning training. It just provides you one way to analyze the data. Since we are doing QuickSight behavior analysis, then we use QuickSight dashboard to run the analysis. It's amazing, right? And in here, let me provide you some further information. For the CloudTrail event, we have the API-based event and non-API-based event. API-based event means you can use CLI or Boto3 to call API, say list users, delete users, list the dashboard, and so on and so on. If you do the action through QuickSight console, that it log as non-API event. The event type will be AWS service, not AWS API. And what kind of events we are logging? We logging the user management. And a very, very interesting thing I would like to let you know is from QuickSight console, if you invite a user by providing email, if it's not from IAM or not from your federated user management, if it's only the QuickSight user, then the create a user event is this event name. Okay, I know it's kind of like a difficult to understand, but just for information. If you would like, again, if you would like to analyze the user creation event from QuickSight console, use this event to analyze it. Okay. And in my admin console, I focus on the dashboard utilization. So I use the get dashboard event to monitor it. If you would like to monitor the other behavior, you can also monitor create a dashboard, update the dashboard, and so on and so on. If you would like to analyze analysis, you can use this get analysis. You can also monitor like a query database. And unfortunately here doesn't list the queue-related events. I can tell you similarly, is get topic, then you will get the topic-related CloudTrail event, okay? And okay, here's the background. And yeah, the pull request. Forget about Lambda, retire it. Let's use Glue. And here is the stack. You can click this button. You might not have time to do it now, but if you do have time, you can follow me to run the CloudFormation template. In this CloudFormation template, what I provide is create a new bucket called admin console. New, be careful, new. Some of you may have the admin console bucket. Now there's a new bucket. And also, I create an IAM role called QuickSight Admin Console 2025 and two glue job and two trigger to help you to run the glue job every 3 hours. You can increase the frequency to every hour or whatever you would like to do, but just for information. And then click it, validate, and then you can go ahead to deploy this CloudFormation template. I will name it as blue, right? And then next, and say, hey, I acknowledge it. CloudFormation will create IAM resource and submit. And you will see we are creating one S3 bucket to host the API results query by using glue job, and one IAM role, and two glue job, and two glue job trigger. And you can see it's creating. Yep, creating. And now what you can do is you can go to IAM to check it. Do I have the new role, admin console? Yep, I have it. And in here, I allow this role to be able to run glue job. And I also give the role for CloudFormation. Why? I can show you in step 3 why we need this one and why you see error in the third CFN template in my old blog. That's because AWS service makes some change, and now we have to make some modification to fit into those change So this one is new, the CloudFormation trust relationship in the row. Okay. And let's check, do we have the S3 bucket? Go to S3 bucket and admin console new. Yep, it's here. And now let's go to glue. And in glue, you will see two glue job is created. And let's run it. And let's run another one. And because I want to get the results immediately, so I don't want to wait for the trigger to trigger it. But if you don't like so urge to get the information, you can wait for the trigger to trigger it. I let it run every 3 hours. Again, you can modify it, okay? And it's running. It might take a few minutes. Let me check. Yeah, it's running. It will take a few minutes to get all the information. Yep, succeed. Yep, succeed. Okay, cool. Now let's go to the S3 bucket. And see in here, you get the file saved here. Okay. Yep. Okay. And now, yeah, you manually run the glue job to get the results immediately. And you verify the data available. And you have to enable the CloudTrail log if you didn't do that. If you don't know how to do that, you can search the tutorial page related to how to enable the CloudTrail log. And then once you enable the CloudTrail log, and you can move to next step to create the Athena table based on those files. And if you go to your here, you need some further information about the CloudTrail in store location. Is here. You go to CloudTrail and then go to Trails, and you will see here is a logging. It's a valuable information here. And then let me go to here, and you can see, okay, you have all the CloudTrail logged into this S3 bucket, and it divided by different region. But don't worry about that. If you enable cross-region logging, so you host the information in the US East 1, but it will log all the regions activity into here. You just use this bucket, this folder to host all the information, okay? And you can see here it partitioned by the year and by the months. If you go inside, you can see also by the date. And it continue to log the file here and compress it into the gzip format. And once you have all those information, okay, you copy the S3 URI and put we need those information in the next CloudFormation template deployment. So now you can move to here to launch the second one to build the Athena table. In this CloudFormation template, what I have is I have one database in Athena in the catalog, in the lake formation catalog. You can also say it's a glue catalog, everything they're the same. And I create the 5 tables. This table is about the user information. This is, we get the data about who can view or own which object. And this one is about the CloudTrail. And this one is a data dictionary, means this data set has how many columns and what's the SQL this data set is queried, and so on and so on. And you validate it, yeah, valid. And then you run this one, move to next. And here you have to also give the stack name, I just call it Athena. And then here is what you get, you put the CloudTrail location here. Be careful in here. Make sure you start with S3 and end with CloudTrail in this format, okay? If you mess up this part, then you cannot get any data from your Athena table, okay? And then here is the start date parameter. You do it in this way by year, month, day. In here, I will only get the 2024 and move to next and move to next and then submit. And this CloudFormation template is running to create the Athena table and the database for you. Yep, it's success. Yep, it's successful. Yeah, and now if you move to Athena, you will be able to see the database here and the 5 table here. You can try to like preview the data from one table and see whether or not you can get the data. Okay. You can also like preview another one and then see whether or not, yep, you have all data. Cool. Yeah, and the next step is more complicated. That's why you cannot deploy your CloudFormation template. Most of the bug coming from here. Once you have the 5 table available, you have to go to QuickSight console to enable QuickSight to be able to query the data from the S3 bucket and the CloudTrail bucket. And one more step, since AWS make the security more restricted, you have to go to lake formation to grant the new created database and the table access to the QuickSight service role and the admin console execution role. And then in QuickSight console, enable the Athena access. And then you should be good. So let's do that one by one. Firstly, go to QuickSight. Sorry, I have to go to this one. I have to log out and go to this one. Yep. And let me go to QuickSight. So when I'm running demoing, yeah, I create a new account. In this account, I enable the IAM identity center. So it asked me to do one further step to log in by using the IAM identity center. And go here, go to security permission, go here, and in the S3 bucket, some of you may see that because I make the modification in IAM directly. And now if you move back to QuickSight, you will see this one error out. You cannot do any further modification from the console UI. And make sure Athena is checked, then it's good. Don't worry, don't be panic. If that's the case, let me show you how to do that. You can go to IAM and go to the row and search QuickSight service row, which is this one. And in the QuickSight service row, you can add the permission. You can attach a policy or create an inline policy to enable the S3 bucket for the new S3 bucket and also the CloudTrail bucket. Here we don't have enough time, so I already pre-create this S3 policy. I just allow this one to be able to view all the S3 bucket. On your side, you the better don't do that. Only specific to allow the new bucket. But in here, I try to save time. So I just make a shortcut here, okay? Make sure your QuickSight service role should be able to access the S3 bucket, okay? And then one more step is make sure your service role indeed can access Athena. This one is the AWS manager role. You just make sure you have this manager role attached to your QuickSight service role. Okay, good. Indeed, you have it. In the Athena service role, it's tricky. It says Athena, but not only Athena. You have to enable Athena access, glue access, and some corresponding S3 access, and the lake formation access, okay? And now you go to the admin console, new role I just create, okay, in here. And you have all the permission here. Okay, cool. And most tricky step is here. If you don't do that, you will see the third CFN fail. Go to database. Go to this admin console, new database you create. And say get. And in here, choose the admin console role. Choose the side service role. I want to, if we have time, I want to show you some new features. So I also include the Q business role. If we don't have time, that will be, I will skip this part and say all table. And then give the select and describe. Select and describe. Okay, make sure you are doing correct. Yep. And then make the effect immediately and correct. Once you successfully finish this step, good. You are good to go to move to next step to launch the QuickSight stack. Okay, and go here and you can see what I put here. In here, I have the analysis and the three. Wait a minute. This one is a little bit. I might not give the correct link. Let me use this one. Sorry, I will update the notebook a little bit. I should use the one with the template. Yeah, this one is correct. Yep, this one is correct. Okay, so in here, in this template, I will create the analysis and the underlying data set and the data source for you. And valid, and create a template. Yeah, so when you use the notebook, don't click this button. This button, I make some mistake. Maybe I just forgot to rerun it. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, now it should be good. Yeah, I just forgot to rerun it after I updated this one. But anyway, this link is the correct link. Just use the link URL, then it should be good. Yep. And go to next. And here you give the name, admin console QuickSight 1225. Here you have to provide the admin ARN of your QuickSight account administrator user. And here is interesting. If you are not using IAM Identity Center, it's very easy. you just use this one, replace this one with your account ID. However, for here, you cannot use the assume row to do that. If you already moved to the IAM identity center, you have to provide the name in here. As I show you. Here is the username. Go to QuickSight console. Click this one here, and then get username here. It's a little bit different after you move to IAM Identity Center, okay? And I will replace this one. Originally, the admin and then /XYZ. Admin is the role I'm assuming, and XYZ is the session name of this assuming role session. Previously, if you are using federated single sign-on, your admin user name, it will be similar like this way. But if we are using AD, if we are using AD for user management, or if we are using IAM Identity Center, then you have to go to here, as I show you, to directly get the username here. Okay, that's a small difference if you watch my previous demo. And now go to next. And here is another tricky step. Choose the QuickSight admin console role to execute this CloudFormation template. And then submit. At the same time, when we are waiting for this one, let me show you the admin console analysis I already create in another QuickSight environment. Yep, let me log out this one and use this one. Yep. In this account, I already successfully deployed the admin console dashboard, and it's here. You can see previously in my blog, I only provide your template to be able to create a dashboard because I don't want you to mess up the solution. But in this new update, I will provide you the template to create the analysis so you can do some further modification. Now I don't worry about you mess up the solution because now QuickSight provide out-of-box version control, and also provide import analysis, import visualization from another analysis and another dashboard. So even if you mess up, don't worry about that. You can always recreate the analysis and then import the correct version from the original one. So what I suggest you to do is, once you successfully deploy, wait a minute. Once you successfully deploy the solution, you have the analysis. Create successfully. Yep. If you are following me, now you should be able to see one QuickSight data source, 4 QuickSight datasets, and 1 QuickSight analysis. What I suggest you to do is you get this analysis right, and you publish it. You publish it. Let's say as a backup. And once you have the backup, okay, good, keep it. And go back to the analysis to make any modification you wish. Even if you mess up something, doing something wrong, don't worry about that. You can always say, hey, import the visualization from your backup dashboard. So now I don't worry about you mess up the analysis. So I directly provide the analysis to you. And in the analysis, today we don't have enough time, but you can go to check what I'm doing, what I'm querying from here, and which calculation field I'm building, and so on. And you can modify it, update it to fit into your usage or your client's usage. And furthermore, you can go to the Athena table to build some Athena view to make your solution to be more creatively. You can see here the data dictionary, and you can see how can I get those information. Okay, so play with it. Here is the analysis. And one thing I want to show you is in the admin console dashboard now, we have the dashboard Q&A if you enable this beta feature. And you can ask a question directly from this dashboard by using natural language question as Q is doing. You can ask any question like how many users belong to a group and give the group name. It will give you the corresponding information. You can also ask what's the dashboard ID of one dashboard and provide the dashboard name. And you can ask give me the column list of a dataset. All these natural language question will be able to be answered by using this dashboard Q&A. Okay. And that's for today's demo. And enjoy the admin console solution. Again, in July, I will provide you some further code to do the Q topic and the folder membership management and some other further functionality of the admin console. And thank you for joining today.